Hey, so this video contains discussion on racism and transphobia and a lot of philosophy, so you've been warned. Enjoy the video. I feel I don't know if it's just me.
Boy.
Is my voice more fucked up? Because I feel like I've just got shit constantly in my nose.
With power comes a big choice, lad. You can either serve yourself or put your godhood in the service of others, like Tyr did.
Average child,
People
real.
really loved him, huh?
Aye, a god of war, but one who fought for peace. Had a reputation for being heroic and lawful, using his power and knowledge
Loki
to
from
stop
Marvel.
wars
Real.
rather than start them.
So there are good gods.
Once in a moon, it's been known to happen, yes?
This one mentions places I've never heard of. Seems Tyr really liked to travel.
Tyr believed the mind, not might, was key to preventing war and chaos. And he also knew visiting other cultures would give him perspective staying in one place could not.
Real.
While Odin always hoarded knowledge, guarding it jealously, Tyr was open and sharing with his learning and his wisdom. For this, mortals adored Tyr, showing their love by bringing him gifts the world over.
Wow, it's almost like learning from other cultures is actually really beneficial, and thinking that one culture is superior to all others is really shit and stupid. Multiculturalism, this game is woke. It's almost like all art is political. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Pisses me off, frankly. Though in Tyr's case, I believe he was right.
You think Tyr was helping the giants?
I do. I believe it could only have been done with Tyr and the giants working together.
Not everything has to be political. Literally everything is political.
Where is this black wolf?
You may choose not to. You may choose not to engage with it as such, but yes,
Yeah.
everything is political.
The stone! That has to be it.
Hey, it's me, Scripted Queen. What I'm talking about here is what's called a value judgment. A value judgment is just something that you consider to be true, false, good, bad, that type of thing. So when Atreus says,
So there are good gods.
Atreus and Mimir are making a value judgment. They believe that going to other cultures, learning from them, and then sharing that knowledge is a good thing. Now, if you watch this channel, you may be saying to yourself, duh, Queen, of course learning from people and helping people is a good thing. But here's the thing. Not everyone considers this value judgment to be a good thing. Consider the following value judgment.
We feel that the massive illegal alien immigration of this country is a real threat to our American way of life. It's taking millions of jobs from American citizens. It's causing a tremendous crime problem in many American cities. Through the offspring of the illegal aliens that become American citizens, it's taking a tremendous amount of money in terms of taxes, welfare programs, educational expenses involved.
This is another value judgment. This is a value judgment that believes that segregation of races is a good thing. He valued keeping Mexican immigrants out of the American South and didn't want taxpayers to pay for the welfare benefits to immigrants. All value judgments also carry with them the means of imposing that value judgment onto other people. This is politics. My statement that learning from and valuing other people's cultures is a good thing results in political ideas such as open borders and immigrant amnesty, whereas David Duke's statement would confer the opposite. Closing borders, prosecuting and removing immigrants, and creating a whites-only country. To deny a piece of artwork as political is to give it the status of normativity, and what is considered normal and what is considered political is in and of itself a political statement. What you consider to be, yeah, that's just normal, a bunch of fucking a cast full of white people and then a cast full of black people. Why does a cast full of black people be political but a cast full of white people is not political? It's how transgender people are, political, but being straight is not. I'm just saying, Queen of Philosophy. I fucking love philosophy, man. Okay, so when I say normativity, what I'm talking about is what you and I consider normal. Something being considered normal is also a value judgment. For something to be considered normal, we as a group of varying size, anywhere between a country to a group of friends, decide that a certain action carries with it no positive, negative, or uncommon traits. Quick example would be hunting. Do you think hunting is normal? Terrible? That's your value judgment. For me, as a trans person, the fact that I am a girl but have a you-know-what between my legs, I find that normal. Some girls have dicks and some guys don't. I know lots of trans people. I understand how dysphoria works and how it affects people and what steps are useful towards dealing with it. As an aside, I had a friend once who told me that his friend group would carry a Joker card in their wallet at all times. If anyone asked to see someone's Joker and they didn't have it, they would have to drop trow. You may find that weird, but that was just normal for them. Because I find being trans normal, and because that's a value judgment, I support policies that treat trans healthcare just like any other kind of healthcare. It should be covered by whatever health insurance you have. It should be given to children if it's deemed necessary by a doctor. And bathroom bills that specify that you can only use the bathroom of the gender assigned at your birth are discriminatory and hurtful. However, not everyone finds transgender people normal. Some people find our existence to be abhorrent.
Is that how it works? You come out as trans and everybody throws you a parade and the mayor gives you the key to the city? Or does being trans put a target on your head for bullies?
Became, Mom, I don't want to live anymore because nobody likes me.
Their mom, Sarah Murphy, says she is at her wit's end.
Just having your kid be terrified to get out of the car and it be an hour procedure and we have to go get the social worker or the school guidance counselor to come out and try to coax my child out of the car, crying.
Both Grayson and Ashton struggle with depression and anxiety. Grayson even tried to take his own life.
To honor the life of 16-year-old Brianna Gay. Brianna was a transgender girl who gained a following on TikTok, posting dance and lip sync videos. She was found stabbed to death on February 13th in Linear Park in Cheshire, England, about 200 miles from London.
They were telling her that she was going to hell. They were telling her that she will never be a real woman.
He says he got in trouble after standing up for a transgender student when faculty would not.
12-year-old began transitioning back in October, and that's when he says the slurs and ugly comments started coming his way.
They think I'm a sin. They think my life, being who I am, is a sin.
They consider all trans people to simply be the gender that they were assigned with at birth. They don't understand, or don't care to understand, that gender and sex are two very different things. In my day-to-day life, the fact that I have a dick in between my legs isn't a very relevant factor. Is it relevant to my doctor? Sure. Is someone going to pull down my pants and check before I use the bathroom? Yeah, I think some Republican freaks would want that. This is why, when certain groups of angry gamers consider some art to be political and some not, what they're really saying is what they consider to be normal and what isn't. However, both of these are value judgments, and they carry political statements. If someone thinks that Call of Duty isn't political, then they identify with American military spending and intervention to be normal. And that's a political statement that says that those things should keep happening. I can draw a dumb sketch of a banana or something right now and have no political meaning. You may not. This is another thing. Death of the author, right? You may not place any political statement onto it, right? But as, I know you're drawing a banana, right? But as the reader of your text, as the person who sees your banana, I can interpret it how I decide to, right? Okay, so this is a principle called Death of the Author. It was written by Roland Barthes and discusses that however an author intended a piece of work to be read is irrelevant to whatever a reader interprets for themselves. The meaning of a text is how you define it for yourself. Don't get confused about the usage of the words text and read. This goes for all art. how a painter paints a piece and what the viewer gets from seeing it, how a director films a movie and how somebody watching it interprets it, that kind of thing. I think a pretty easy example is Ultra Kill. Like, I don't think Hikita was intentionally designing a game for trans girls, but like, a bunch of us connect with it anyways. I connect with it due to the themes around religion and the fact that I can paint my guns trans. But how can a picture of a banana be political? So here's a picture of a banana. This is a picture I asked Kirby to draw for me. Now, I told them nothing as to why I wanted it or what it was for. So in this case, we know that there is no political statements meant by Kirby, who is the author of this work. And yet, there is something about this banana. It's most likely a Cavendish banana, based on its shape and its color. The fact that when I prompted Kirby to draw me a banana, and Kirby gave me what looks to be a Cavendish, this means that Kirby probably considers a Cavendish banana to be normal. Just about every grocery store here in America will have a Cavendish banana, just like this one. And Kirby has seemingly based their drawing around those same bananas. However, what you may or may not know is that the reason that United States has so many Cavendish bananas has to do with the Banana Wars. The Banana Wars were a series of conflicts between 1989 and 1934 where American fruit companies like United Fruit Company held so much land, railroads, and power over Latin America that they used that power and influence along with help from the United States Navy in order to enact a coup to remove the sitting president, Miguel R. Davila, because he was hurting their profits. Now, Kirby didn't intend any of this, right? But our interpretation of this piece of art is not invalid. It is an interpretation of the normativity of bananas in American culture and critiquing U.S. American imperialism and capitalism. Like, that's what we've done. It is political. Just because Kirby didn't mean it doesn't mean it's not political. Feels like you suck out the fun from things and try to associate it with political things. I'm just being like real. Like again, you don't have to like analyze all media. I'm not saying that like as a principle you need to be analyzing all of your media, right? I'm not saying that every piece of media that you interact with, you must like debate and understand the political context that it surrounds and the messaging that it has, right? I'm not saying that. That would be a kind of shit way to live your life. If I hop on Warframe, I'm not contemplating the political ideals and statements within Warframe. I just want to play fucking Warframe. I just want to have a good time fucking shooting dudes, right? But if I hop on like Call of Duty, I have a hard time like actually playing the Call of Duty campaigns, because when I play Call of Duty campaigns, it sucks because I just know that this is basically just all like US military propaganda. Like that's what it is. And so I don't enjoy that, right? But you don't have to analyze everything. I would hope that you try and analyze some of it, right? But like, yes, everything is political. Everything, okay? Whether you decide to look into it or not is up to you. Now, this is an important point to consider. If everything is political, and politics are boring and dumb and stupid and upset me, why should I care? I think it's important to consider the art that you take in and what it states about everything that I've just talked about. Normativity, value judgments, and the political statements that they entail. However, you don't have to do this kind of analysis with absolutely everything you come into contact with on a daily basis. That would be excruciating. What's the political statement behind this couch, this poster, these walls, the fact that I'm filming in VR chat instead of filming in the real world? I brought up 2 games in this section, Warframe and Call of Duty. In both cases, these games are pro-interventionism. The difference is, Warframe is a silly sci-fi game with hot robots and magic space powers, intervening into the goings-on of a clone army and an army of space capitalist cultists, while the US Army tries to tie itself to Call of Duty as a recruitment tool. Playing COD campaigns just gives me the ick, because I know that anyone who finds all of these guys to be cool hero dudes will probably also think that the US Army is full of cool hero dudes. This is all a part of what we call media literacy. Being able to read into a text for yourself and know what it's trying to say versus what it's actually saying is pretty important. A good example of this is Helldivers. It's kind of insane to put out a game that gets crazy popular where you are encouraged to participate in a hyper-militarized fascist regime and then play into it in all official communication. Seriously though, the fact that the community partner program is called the Propaganda Commanders is kinda a bad choice.
Yeah, r/2 Helldivers satire talks about this a lot. A lot of its members point out that the majority of the community on Reddit has no media literacy and doesn't see or want to admit Super Earth is the bad guy.
And when the devs know that a large portion of the player base are people that came from games like Call of Duty,
the point is we were the bad guys.
I don't think a large portion of the people playing realize that. I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't a large portion of the game's player base who hear managed democracy, only hear democracy, see all the similarities to the US, and then just assume that Super Earth are the good guys because the US are the good guys.
I hate you're not wrong.
I hate that it's true. This is why it's important to try and read into some of this stuff on your own, and at least be aware. At no point in this section have I told you that you can't play Call of Duty or Helldivers, or whatever problematic media you enjoy. But being aware of these things makes you less susceptible to falling into the political statements that come from them. Honestly, I find this kind of exercise fun. When you're more aware of what's in a piece of media, you get to better understand why you like the things that you do. You get to find meaning, personal meaning, in a piece of art that, even though it wasn't intended, still means something to you. One of the reasons why I love K-pop Demon Hunter so much is because I'm the bitch that thinks that it has some kind of trans allegory in it. Rumi feeling like she has to hide parts of herself because she's afraid that the people around her won't accept her anymore. That's the trans experience. Mira's line in the song Golden about how she fell out of place within her family, but now she's being herself for a living. Literally me. And on the flip side, then you can realize the flaws in a piece of art, even if you still like it. Instead of a movie being fun because the action was cool, you can critique the movie on its poor depiction of women, or its use of police violence as an effective interrogation method.
I apologize for my poor attitude.
Because when you don't consider why you believe the things that you do, and you don't think for yourself as to what a piece of art means to you, that's when you let someone think for you. And there are a lot of people out there who are willing to think for you, and they've probably also got something to sell you.
We are being poisoned. Our fertility is being targeted, and it's dropping across the Western world. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthroplex is the newest edition in InfoWarsLife.com.